Yo, what's good, John? Alright, yo, so today we're going to talk about ECW. ECW, I kid you not, was one of the most hardcore wrestling organizations to ever exist. There's no, there's a lot of wrestling organizations that claim to be as hard, if not harder than ECW, but I guarantee you will not find anything like what I'm about to tell you. Before we even get into that, I want you to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, turn on post notifications. We out here, we trying to get to 100 subscribers. You know the vibes already. But without any further ado, we're gonna get into ECW. Okay, so Extreme Championship Wrestling is the home to borderline crime. ECW was founded in April of 1992 in a warehouse that would be soon called the ECW Arena. The House of Hardcore was ran by a, we'll say, maniacal, manipulative genius. His name was none other than Paul Heyman. Heyman got his start working from out of his home selling papers at the age of 11 around his town, Scarsdale, New York. First of all, that's not the five boroughs, so is that really New York? Come on now. Like, can you really go up there and get a bacon, egg, and cheese? A chopped cheese? No. Come on now. You see this? Look at this. I don't look smacking you. Alright, whatever. Anyways, the son of one of the best male lawyers in the tri-state area and a woman who was a Holocaust survivor. These are his parents, by the way, so as a wild. Heyman ventured into the business of professional wrestling. At the age of 14, he called Capital Wrestling Corporation, the parent company of the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, and obtained a backstage pass from Madison Square Garden, aka he finessed his way. His first official work in pro wrestling, Heyman met Dusty Rhodes at a Jim Crockett Promotions taping. When he entered a production meeting, at this meeting, he explained to Dusty how he wanted to learn from the best in the business, aka he was hyping him up. Dusty granted him the request, and from there, Heyman took off. He would later build a relationship with a talent who would work shows from, different promotions. As time went on, he done all this before the age of 21. So Heyman went from, this kid that just finesses his way into the garden to basically being an on-screen manager and, backstage, but he was pulling a lot of strings backstage too, building his empire low key. A few years passed and Heyman wanted a company of his own, so that's what he did. He made ECW. ECW was the best place if you were told by the big leagues, aka WWF or WCW. This is the place to start. Paul Heyman has stunning Steve Austin, who later went on to become Stone Cold Steve Austin, who wrestled for WWF. Austin, to this very day, is arguably the greatest wrestler to ever lace up a pair of boots. It's wild. WWE slash W and WCW were the big boys of professional wrestling. So how do you have people watch a wrestling show? You go extreme. Paul took an established wrestler, Terry Funk, and put him on ECW since he made a connection with Funk back in the day. Funk was a big name in WCW, therefore it brought eyes to the company. From there, they had them do matches. Now, WCW and WWF did the traditional bad guy, good guy stuff. ECW, yes, there were bad guys and there were good guys, but not. There was just, but that's because if a fan said, "No, I like this person, so he's a good guy. I hate this person, so he's a bad guy." What ECW did was they went extreme, yo, and they let the audience decide who would be who. So as time went on, people started to hear what's going on and decided to join. Once a week at a now famous ECW arena, nearly hundreds of fans gathered in to watch the violence unfold. From start from 50 to 100, so on and so forth. Now years has passed and ECW is on public access television. For those of you who don't know what that is, basically it's like It's not a major network company. It's like one of those channels where like you see like those church things going on, or somebody's art show or something like that. So it was on public access. It was pure art. As the product grew bigger, so did the demand. Then one day it just happened. They got access to pay per view. Now, anyone willing to pay big money for pay per view, you know it has to be fire. Unfortunately, with success comes downfalls. ECW wasn't the safest environment. This is where it gets super interesting. There was a match with the legend of hardcore Mick Foley, who people would say, even to this day, is in the top 10 wrestlers of all time, I guarantee you. He was having a match against Terry Funk. During this match, Foley wrapped a towel around a chair, then would proceed to set it on fire. As Foley started to use the chair, the towel quickly became unraveled and shredded everywhere. Now, there are pieces of flaming towel everywhere. One of the fragments flew into the crowd, causing a panic and had people running. A fan later sued ECW to no success, by the way, because he tried to, and I quote, put the fire out. He said he was on a barricade or something like that. So he was trying to put it out. Oh, also, I left this part out. Basically, one of the fragments got onto Terry Funk. So basically, Terry Funk is his shirt is damn near on fire. Therefore, he's running around the arena like freaking out, and the ringside crew tried to use the fire extinguisher to hose him down, but the pressure from it was just making everything go like everywhere. So it was a chaotic scene. Like think about that in your head. Basically somebody set something on fire, and I was just flying everywhere, bro. But hey, man, that's show business. But this wasn't the first time ECW was sued, and show him me the last time. Eric Kules had just turned 17 years old. He was a young man attempting to earn a name for himself and hoping to achieve this by working a house show for ECW. Kules' gimmick was Mass Transit, a parody of Jackie Gleason's character Ralph Cradman in The Honeymooners. Kules was put into a match after Heyman was lied to by Kules' father. He told Heyman his son was 23 and graduated from WWF Hall of Famer Killer Kowalski, who was known for making current WWF superstar and future WWF champion Triple H. Mind you, if you're a WWF champion, that means you represent the company. So, I hope. And WWF is one of the juggernauts. Heyman said okay and let him do the match. Because, Killer Kowalski, he has somewhat of a relationship with him, and most of Killer Kowalski's students were a massive success in the wrestling business, period. So during the match, the kid was sold to Blade. Now, you want to listen to this part carefully. Blading is the art of cutting yourself to bleed to make the match better. The kid didn't know how to do it, because, that's wild. So he asked New Jack. Big mistake. Remember this name, New Jack. New Jack is known for literally almost killing his opponents. Now, ECW was known for being extreme and taking things way too far most of the time. But this man was on another level. So during the match, New Jack used a surgical scalpel and cut the kid too deep, making him spray blood everywhere. It was wild, Joe. He then was hit with foreign objects like crutches, a toaster. ECW, man, it's crazy. This is when he rolled over and nearly passed out. AKA, my man's just like, nah, I with this. I'm about to check out of life. ECW would do stuff like like this all the time. It became huge, literally because of that. But sadly, all good things must come to an end. ECW was going bankrupt. There were a handful of ECW originals who stayed and wrestled with the company for free for months. This was going on for like literally months. They were loyal to the cause, but they couldn't. It's only so much they could do. Heyman was a dirty, underhanded player of the game, but he truly loved his talent. All the money that went into ECW was all of Heyman's money. So if he wanted to stick, so if someone stuck by him, then he would stick by them. But in the end, he couldn't. ECW shut down in 2001 and was bought out by WWF. Heyman worked to work for WWF, and he would do many roles such as color commentator and manager. He would manage some of the new stars of today and give his expertise to them. Paul would live his life smoothly until there were talks of a new ECW. And that's about it for part one, guys. I want to do a part two. Let me know if you guys want to hear a part two or not. I really appreciate you guys. Smash that likes button, smash that subscribe button, turn on post notifications. I'm gonna know if you turn it on, bro. I'm watching you. Turn it on. You can wait. I'll wait. I can wait. No problem. Alright. Yeah. No, I'm joking. Alright.
I think I pumped with the bag, I'm feeling really mad. We was soaking and vibing, now I'm feeling sad. Then again, all the rules, now I'm sitting back. Didn't really have a start for all the slack. Now I'm back up and never get a shutdown, cause I'm always winning. I took that nip off the kid.